This is my first day of radiation, and I got my girl Nikita here with me. So excited! Look, and she came through. Look, she came through at the last. Turn this way. I know, right? I'm like, oh, it might be time to take these braids down. But she came through at the last minute. I was gonna try to be a big girl and come by myself. But I talked to Bertha Looney. Shout out to Bertha Looney, who's dealing with cancer herself. And she said, Summer, take somebody at least to your first appointment. So she showed up with like 45 minutes notice, and she was ready to roll. And she came and picked me up.
Of course.
And she picked me up. So, all right, I'll be back after I have my first treatment. We'll see how it goes.
It's not about me, it's about you.
But she's a soldier too. She has leukemia, which I remember when she was diagnosed. I'm like, what in the world? And she hanging in there. She doing good too. You are special. But now we cancer sisters, and we fighting together. We good. Now I'm home from what I thought was going to be my first radiation appointment. I actually did not have radiation today. What I got instead were my markers, and I try to show you a picture. Tattoos is what I've been told they were called, and I'm grateful for the people in my life who gave me a heads up and let me know what to expect. So that wasn't too bad. My friend Nikita went with me, as you saw, and I went back. She wasn't able to go back with me, except for space reasons, but I went back and I got to sit in my gown, a hospital gown, just like I did with the mammogram, in the waiting area with other women waiting as well. And this time we made some conversation, and so it's funny because first I couldn't tie my gown in the back. And so a white lady, her name is Mamie, offered to help me tie it. And I told her, don't even worry about it, because I knew I was going to be going back soon. So she went, she was sitting there, and then there was a 91-year-old lady who came in, and her daughter was with her. And she looked so cute. She reminded me of my grandmother. And I told her that. And that's how I learned she was 91 years old. And she actually had found out she had liver cancer. And her treatment, it was interesting because we talked about treatments too. Her treatment was going to be just that week, radiation that week. I think that was right. I think it was liver cancer. And so she just found out, and so she had been through it, and she actually had a form of cancer before, and so it wasn't brand new to her. The lady named Mamie, they called her, and she went back, and then she came back, and she was talking to me a little bit more when she was about to get dressed, and she was just saying that she was an emotional wreck. And I asked her why, and she told me that she was just really down because she had a husband who had she said, stopped by when she got there, and he left. And then she said she had 3 grown children, and none of them even asked her about how she was doing, and they knew her radiation appointment was today and had reached out to her. And she said it really hurt her that the people that she's closest to, she said, weren't even checking on her, weren't even worried about her, and it bothered her. And she was an emotional wreck. And I told her I definitely sympathize with her. I said I was really grateful for the support I had, and one of my friends was there, and other friends had stepped up and been there for me, and then my mom had, and I had a cousin who had as well. But there are some people, I let her know, there are people to this day who haven't even acknowledged that I have cancer. I've been dealing with cancer. Some people I thought I was really, really close to who haven't even acknowledged it. So it's interesting. I told her, when you're down and when you're dealing with the lives, when you really see who rides for you, who shows up for you. So I hugged her and encouraged her, and another lady who I'd seen go back to the waiting area before I even went to the waiting area, she came out and she was really shaking, and she said, she was asking me, you know, what was I doing? What my situation was. And I told her, that I was about to have the scan. And she said, that's what she just had. And she said, did you know they're going to stick you like 3 times? And she's like, and it really stings. It really hurts. And I was like, oh, I said, yeah, I did know that I was going to get these markers. And she was like, nobody told me that. I didn't know. I was like, well, unfortunately or fortunately, I have friends who've been through this. And so I said, I kind of knew what to expect. And she was like, yeah, I don't have anybody, and nobody told me, so I didn't know. So it was just interesting hearing different women's stories. And I told her, yeah, now she got me, so we connected. And so just different people's stories, different people's journeys. And I did go back and I did get the markers, and it really wasn't bad for me. And so they told me, it's like, dang, you did good. Like it wasn't bad. The sticks weren't bad. So I got stuck on either side of me, and my understanding, so they can line you up in the machine. And so I actually did go under the machine, and it's a big machine. You walk into, they slide you in. So kind of like the MRI machine, it looked like a little bit, but not really. So yeah. So I got those markers. I will start radiation, my actual treatments, on Monday. And I'll be going every weekday for a month. So now, next week, the radiation actually begins. But today was prep. Today was prep, and it was good talking to some women, all ages. We were all different ages, experiencing cancer. Everybody had breast cancer except one lady. Was dealing with breast cancer except one lady, the 91-year-old, who was goals for me because she was so feisty and walking so well. And I was like, when I get up, I need a minute to get myself together. But they called her name and she got right up. But anyway, just continuing the journey. Thanks for following. Hopefully this is helping someone.